Hi, my name is MC Goldie, and this poem called The Gout Storm features in Dreich 5. The Gout Storm. Upon a field of snow-cloaked grass, a flock of gravid ewes lie cold, cowed below a barren hedge, on which the gout storm's snow lay piled, and in the morning's hazy light, from a brummous wood of budding ash, a shy grey handsome passerine, concealed amid old wrinkled bark, flits shamelessly from tree to tree, hypnotic voice ringing loud, over field and wood and glen, like its storm spring heralds.
Hello, my name's Moira Garland, and I'm reading from the Dreich publication Afterwards. And this poem is called After the Bonfire Has Burnt Out, November 5th. It's Wednesday, walking in Burley Park. Golden brown mast, leaves crisp and smart, before Thursday's sodden forecast, or December's suggestion of glittering families and evensongs. November hums a leitmotif of cool meditation, of mist quieting the city's mood, like a man's heavy coat too large and brings a catch in the throat. Walk, keep walking these mossy footpaths to the gateless gaps beyond the bandstand.
There will be another day than this, a day when the macher is wet yet warm, soft and earthy beneath our toes. There will be another day when the sun is rising low over the shoulder of Bleo, when the sound of the waves from the beach reaches us over the dunes as a friend in the morning, when the smell of plain loaf toasting and the whir of 1,000 starlings surprises us into a smile. An eagle may drift over, the ravens will play in distant air, tumbling and falling for fun. There will be another day when all is not cars and churches and the broken voice. There will be another day when we walk together as we did once, whenever ago, in the great distance of then.
Hello, my name is Moira Garland, and I'm reading from a Dreich publication, Season 3, Number 12, and the title of my poem is The Illusionist. Afterwards, the theatre had to close for restoration with Arts Council pounds. Before he made the dinosaur disappear, it was halfway down the hole in the stage. Then he wasn't quick enough. The audience got in a flap as the great orc deposited unwanted excrement on hats and heads. The children stood up, craned their heads to marvel at the waddling dodo, listening to his abracadabra rigmarole. A sudden flash, gone. Jeering ghosts did not appreciate his last trick with preset avatars, which quickly vanished along with all the lights and heating. Water rose in the theatre, a Busby Berkeley synchronized special.
Hi, my name is MC Goldie, and this poem called Into the Wild features in Dreich 5. Into the wild. From pulsing towns into the wild we journey, seeking quiet in our droves, taming mountains with our paths, snaring wind with our blades. From pulsing towns into the wild we journey, not ever draining thronging towns, we shrink our precious wild to the shingled edge of this once harsh land.
The gramophone in the Crown Posada scratches out George Formby, whose wife never let kiss his leading ladies, but I would kiss you. We drift along the quayside like untethered boats, touching, barging, jostling. Your faith is unsinkable. We are slow mourners, heads slung low up dog-leap stairs, pausing to forget to embrace under the viaducts at Castle Keep. And deep into the day and into our pockets, we drink in one imagined corner or another of the Bridge Hotel. This time that flows like ale over dreamers. I'm waiting for unrequited love at Central Station. It's a train that never stops arriving. Her text is enigmatic. She's tardy. A word I found in A-level Lear, but almost appropriate here in the tiled splendour of the centurion. She drives my bonny dreams away. I keep my feet as still as bedsheets. Victoria Regina sits looking up the skirt of the big market from her throne outside of St. Nick's. No Alberts in sight, but plenty of Tom, Dick's and Debbie's. From bar to bar, searching for a taste of what we are. And love is kebab, cheap or brief, in the darkness of a hire purchased car, and the fog on the Tyne is a timeshare investment. The girl in the window's arcade is singing Verdi. The poets huddle in the tower behind the gate. Newcastle, it's a city of starlings. Morrissey mentioned Skipsy at the City Hall, lost on his disciples, apostles of the shopping mall. I'm drinking cooking lager in the Crown Posada, listening to George Formby, whose leading ladies were never kissed. Evangelists and minstrels merge at Monument. The clear white light looks blue. Granger Town is about to cast its concrete coat and dance, this Tyne that flows like ale over dreamers. This Tyne.
I'm David Callan, and this is the title poem from my lovely Dreich collection, Always. My father sang always, as though he was handling something delicate, something his large hard hands, agricultural, might easily break. So he sang gently, wooing the song politely out of its walled shell. His pitch was imperfect, his ear was fallible, his tenor less than certain, and sometimes the tune skittered like an ungainly beast on too smooth a surface. But he sang on, holding that tune so carefully, a humdrum melody, something like a psalm, an efflorescence of the working day.
This is not the adjective you're looking for, so don't expect an argument. Instead, I come here only now to verb. But as it then was mentioned, summation has assumed beyond a point, when all you really wanted was just that. Not then to disappoint, alert to your injustice, here's a noun instead. In fact, let's create an abstract group. None in kindness either. Not for you. Less concrete and more compound. Not enough to see true justice done, so don't expect an answer. As adjective instead becomes a metaphor to name this price. When language is a weapon, nobody leaves untouched. If nothing is the change you make, expect an argument.
I dreamt last night it was all your fault. You were the one who poisoned Uncle Albert and drove the chauffeur to fake his own suicide. And it was you who strangulated the butler with his surprisingly unconventional underwear and buried the gardener under the croquet lawn. And later, in the drawing room, surrounded by dead suspects, knowing I should never have let you serve the drinks and the after-eight mints, I confronted you with your crimes. But you just smiled and said how attractive I looked in my cape and deerstalker, and I took one look at you in that French maid's outfit, and I couldn't help myself. I forgave you all over again, and we coupled on the antimacassar with the police sirens wailing and that bloody bloodhound baying for the moon high above the moors. I awoke in the false dawn to the smell of red herrings and devilled kidneys. But I was back in Embra, and you were asleep beside me, innocent as ever, and I smiled at my dream till I read the confession you'd stapled to the cats. Then you woke me from my nightmare with a kiss and a cup of tea, and the sun was shining, and the birds were singing, and you went out to work, your halo undimmed, as I went downstairs to pour your tea down the sink, just in case.
I was nearly a daddy once. They said 8 weeks wasn't long enough for it to be a he or a she, but I don't like the word it. I know it was her body, her decision, and she was torn up inside in ways that I can't come close to imagining. And I do feel shite, a bit rejected about her not wanting a kid that was part of me. But it's not about that. It's none of that macho bullshit sowing my seed, none of that fucked up illusions of femitality. No, the thing I can't get my head round is, see that gadget over there, effing and seeing his bairn. She's just a wee toddler. Something's frightened her. Pick her up for God's sake. Give her a cuddle. Kiss away her tears. I can't look anymore. That's what I can't come to terms with. Tosspots and cold bastard like him can a wains be a daddy. I was nearly a daddy.